of life, my own confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't. Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path. Not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Bom dia, operadores. Vamos lá, vamos para mais um pregão aí. Eu vou falar pouquinho rapidinho aqui, tá? Enquanto a voz ainda está boa. Ontem no começo do pregão aqui a gente estava com a voz boa, tá? Mas eu vou dar as entradas ali pelo chat, vou escrevendo para vocês, tá? A voz tá ruim, tem muito congestionamento aqui no nariz, tô tomando aí os remédios aí. E então eu vou evitar de falar muito, beleza? Tamo junto? Vamos nessa. O mercado aí, 121 mil, fechamento ontem nos 121.330. 121 mil aí é a abertura. 0,30 de queda, tá? Ele quer esperar um pouquinho o que tá acontecendo lá fora. Pequeno gap de baixa, né? 330 pontos. Dá para comprar e tentar levar ele lá no fechamento do gap, tá? O dólar tá abrindo quase no mesmo ponto, então parece que ele vai dar uma espirrada para baixo. 48,36 é o ponto da abertura. Quer fechar? O gap é 4 pontos, então para ele ficar fácil, ele cair o dólar ali, fazer um fechamento de uma vela ali na mínima e depois ele subir, né? O dólar bateu 4,81. Acho que fazia muito tempo que o dólar não batia 4,81, né? O índice 121 mil. A gente sabe que tem vários gaps aqui embaixo para ele voltar e fechar, né? Então é isso, tá bom? Vamos com calma, vamos com tranquilidade. Deixa o teu like aí, beleza? Vamos nessa.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the new song. And you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You were not as tough as that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon dash. Sharp as many, but got heart, I'm ready to change. Scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been
Daquela esfriada na chapa. Acho que tem uma relação, assim, uma das coisas que me veio para esse lado. As pessoas não vão muito direto ao ponto, sabe? Então, eu tô achando que já
We would give a call and anybody would ship up, which gives us a sense of just, what the oath is behind it. Long euro, that's really what
Now, Lisa, good morning, Tom, as well. Is that essentially what we've seen that drove the euro lower in the recent sort of move was the data supplies really turning against euro area. Euro's definitely disappointed. We even had a weak CPI number, and that just took the wind out of the euro trade. So we had it on most of this year, long euro dollar, but it's been a bit of a zigzag, been really monotonous for everybody to trade, washing people out of what essentially is a trade where you wanted to trend higher or lower, and then you get mean reversion. And it's not a market that's been helpful to the macro space. But I think, Lisa, what's changed is those data supplies are now extremely low for the euro area. So I think economists from here probably will revise down all their estimates for the euro. The market will be less reactive to, say, a weak manufacturing PMI. Next week, we've got the flash PMI, maybe services comes in weak as well. But I think the market can shrug that off because it's already in the dice. And what's changing is the correlation of euro dollar. So if I was using a rates framework, I'd be absolutely short euro dollar right now. I thought actually that the euro would get down to 106 towards 105 because rates would say we should be towards that two big figures from where we are. But we're in a correlation. What's happening is the equity market had been quite range bound for quite some time, and then this AI boom has just changed everything. And also being close to the end of the Fed hiking cycle. So equities are higher. It actually suggests DXY should be towards 97.50. So I have this tug of war between but rates say towards 106. And I'm putting the weight of the equity momentum and that out to euro and other assets as well against the dollar.
Well, the two ambiguities are nicely explained. Joe Rochester, you say you want out, which maybe just tries to see but I looked you at Rochester, it really means in FX trading, which is stop losses. With all this ambiguity back and forth and difficulty in trading, how do you establish stop losses if you've got such a narrow idea of where you're going? How do you set up a stop loss if you're only looking for two big figures?
You got to be careful with how much you will take on the versus dollar ratio. So ideally you want at least a 2-to-1 ratio to do the cash spot trade, which we tend to do. So you should look at the 4% upside, you have a 2% stop. And over the long term, you just hope that on average, you're at least 50% or more higher hit ratio. So you're also make money. The other side of the word is take leverage. So you can do some leverage play. Calls or selling off right now, making this leverage play quite cheap. But realize it's also quite low. What we're talking about is story time in the second half of this year of a breakout in euro. So maybe all head high this year, or when we break through, let's say 108 towards 110, we get to that 110 level. That's when momentum growth, and then the CPA will start buying euro as well in decent clip. And I think that's when you get that sort of breakout that makes those take profits get hit.
We should be here at 8 minutes, folks, in the room. Very press conference. We're supposed to continue with Euro Battle with George Rochester, but we can't. Because the murder is very...
Vamos lá, turma. O que tá acontecendo aí, ó? O mercado, ele tem que fazer pelo menos uma vela, fechando ali no 350, tá? Fechar o gap do índice. Ele, nessa condição, Se você perceber, eu vou colocar a média aqui, ó.
Here for Q3, Q4 time from the Bank of Japan, they wanted to intervene to strengthen the yen, and that was an
Ó, vou colocar a média aqui. Se ele consegue fechar aqui acima, ele pode ter um padrão aí de alta, né? Então aqui, ó, se ele consegue fechar acima dessa média de 20, tem que tomar cuidado. Se ganhar essa resistência, a força do mercado tá muito compradora, tá? É legal que ele faça algum fechamento aqui, ó, nesse 340, 350, né? Uma vela só agora, positiva aí, tá bom? O dólar, ó, não fechou o gap. Então a gente tem um mercado um pouquinho complicado. Vai sair alguns números agora, né? Esses números vão definir aí 9,6, vão definir movimentos do mercado, tá bom? Vamos lá. Vamos esperar aí. Já zerado, tô zerado, líquido no mercado, tá? Peguei 500 pontos aí, então tá bom.
TB today, Lisa, just going to watch out. They're going to raise up their core inflation forecast in our view. They had around 4.6 for the average of this year. Inflation on core in the euro area has been on 5 for most of this year. ECB needs to be hawkish. You've got credit spreads tightening, equities at the high, and now, unfortunately, you've got natural gas prices shooting back up. So inflation hasn't gone away. If that carries on, Lisa, I'd be surprised today if we get a dovish meeting.
Needs to be hawkish, as we go to this meeting 2 minutes away, 2.5 minutes away, the announcement rather, before the press conference. Chairman Rochester, what is the power, the influence of the Bundesbank at this 8:15 New York time?
Well, every country has a vote, has a say. There's a rotation, of course, of those countries. So some do and some don't get to vote at this meeting. But there is one aspect of everything that is a dampener on the mood, which is manufacturing and housing. So if you look at those components of growth, it's not looking great. Germany has some indicators saying house prices are down 10%. However, the average household in Germany and France barely felt the impact of the ECB raising rates because they've got 10-year, 30-year mortgage rates that are fixed, just like in the US. So yes, there are clear signs that there are problems creeping up, and that's going to lead to regional differences. But for France and Germany, the average consumer hasn't felt the impact of an ECB rate hike cycle. So for the time being, I think they'll still have to lean hawkishly.
Chairman Rochester, stay with us. We're going to have your comments here as we see the headlines come out. Jenna Randall, writing for Bloomberg, and she reports this morning it is a home stretch of historic hiking cycle. Lisa, you alluded to that earlier.
It seems like we're getting to the end. This might not be the end for the Fed. It might be, depending on who you are. Alan Zentner might argue that it is the end of the hiking cycle. Over at the ECB, maybe there's one, maybe there's two more hikes left, maybe there's even three. But you're getting to this feeling that they now have to decide what the damage is to the economy versus signaling and trying to jump on the market to do the work for them.
You know, what's interesting about this, we have to go back to first principles that are coming out of Duesenberg, Dick.
Bom dia, Tony Félix. Como é que você tá, meu irmão? Nós estamos devagarinho aqui. Eu tô tentando não forçar muito a minha voz aí, porque eu tô ruim, né? Gripado desde domingo, né? E aí ontem piorou, ontem eu não conseguia nem falar. Tomando bastante melzinho com limão, remedinho ali pra garganta, dor na garganta. Então a gente tá meio que escrevendo bastante aí. Pegamos uma primeira operação, né? Uma compra aqui, ó. Fiz o fechamento aqui, ó. Ela me deu 500 pontos, eu já zerei ele cheio. E agora eu vou aguardar um pouquinho. Eu quero ver se ele fecha esse gap aqui, ó. Tá? Para mim seria interessante, às vezes, ele até testar a máxima, parar e na volta, às vezes, dar uma venda. Mas se ele fechar uma vela aqui, não passar na média de 20, já é interessante, às vezes, podendo ter uma reversão aqui. Tentaria também fazer uma vendinha, né? Mercado esticadíssimo, esticadíssimo. O mercado tá igual aquela corda que você puxa e extremamente esticada, né? Então, é isso aí. Fechou? Tamo junto aí. Obrigado aí pela presença, meu irmão. Deixa o like aí. Tamo junto. Quem pegou essa operação na compra na abertura aí? A primeira vela, ela é difícil, né, de você pegar esse movimento aí e conseguir fazer essa operação. Mas tem um setup, né, dentro do método 6D, nosso treinamento de análise técnica, que de fato ele ensina a fazer essa operação aí. Tem que ter muita técnica, né? Olhar muitas vezes para você poder fazer. Bom dia, Edson Dufo. Vamos lá, esperando aí, ó. O dólar tem que fechar esse gap aí, não tem como comprar aí, o índice também não tem como vender ainda. No meio do caminho não dá para comprar nem vender.
Realizing that was the worst release of the press release by Bloomberg Surveillance in history. She's saying, where is John Farrell? Maria Tadeo joins us now with perspective from Frankfurt. Maria, your thoughts as markets move?
Well, Tom, it's a 25 basis points hike. We were expecting that, but when you look at the numbers and all these projections that we've got today, you see that inflation ticks up and GDP goes down. So in other words, they are hiking into a recession, and that was the scenario that they wanted to avoid. What it does in many ways, the downside risks continue. The story over energy, we thought the panic was over, and I remember the panic a year ago. That panic gone, but the fears, the scars, the fallout, it is still there when it comes to inflation. You also see it. We are going to have to continue to probably rates continue. That note, what's clear now is that this is almost the it's a day to not at that point. At that point, that's when you see the real tension in the governing council. They need to make sure that they feel comfortable with the policy. They need to feel sure that they have done enough to tame inflation. This single mandate central bank. And I always say this, and people tell me you're too European, you're too nice to the European Central Bank. But the reality is this is a constant balancing act, and these are 20 different economies, Tom. You cannot forget. We're looking right now at yields markedly higher. German yields at 3.12% climbing significantly on the day. We have a 13 basis point change. We're seeing euro marginally higher. And this coming out that the ECB is planning to discontinue APP asset reinvestments in July. So not only raising rates by 25 basis points, but also perhaps tightening the screws on the liquidity side of things. Maria, do you think that this indicates that we're going to hear from Christine Lagarde in about 25 minutes here, that they are planning to hike more and that they plan to withdraw stimulus through the balance sheet? Look, we know that some members of the governing council have already asked for this for a long time, and they had said, not just with this, but remember the Teltra is true, they had said we need to listen to the excess liquidity already because inflation is unacceptably high. It continues to be unacceptably high in the euro area. Also, not just headline, but when you look at core, and this is a number that you really look at, that continues to be a problem. I think one of the key questions, and you alluded to this, it's what happens in July. That's the question. Is that one final one, and you're done? You feel the monetary policy has done the job, and it will really apply, or is it more July? Let's take a break. It's also very European. Look at and reassess in September. To me, that's a key question.
Within these headlines we read today, quickly, do you see the hands of the Bundesbank and the hawks that say we've got to be more restrictive?
Look, I think they have obviously pushed that line, and they have been winning that argument. How can they not? When you see the inflation numbers the way that they are. But I would also say one thing. When you look at the Bundesbank, it is an interesting situation. But they also look at it's taken a huge hit because of the energy situation. You've seen gas prices today. And Tom, when you come to Germany, you talk to CEOs, you talk to the German government, that anxiety about what's the future of the German industry, that continues to play in. So this time around for the German central bank, it's not just about inflation, it's about growth.
Maria, thank you so much for reporting that out front on the analysis of GDP, original GDP, I should say, in some nations of Europe. We continue with Jordan Rochester, G10 FX strategist. Jordan, let me go and overlay the GDP question on Euro call. Germany's not getting it done right now. How does that change a Euro call from the north?
Well, right now, Tom, we already knew growth would be weak. We've got to PMIs the surveys. So I'm not really convinced that the GDP is the way to look at euro right here, right now, in the short term. What's more important is what it is to those inflation forecasts, Tom. So there's been a bit of a revision down in the front end line. But for core inflation, what's been surprising from this release is that we've got, on average now, 5.1 from the ECB this year, from 4.6 in the forecast previously. I said earlier that it was too low, that we revised that well. Under our community, we thought the ECB not pencil in a 5 handle for their core inflation, just because that's a number that will make me very uncomfortable for the average of this year. 5%. This is none of this. None of these forecasts for inflation have it going back towards 2% and actually go below 2% in the horizon. The 2025 inflation forecast provides up just very slightly. All of this says the ECB is being hawkish. We'll find out in the presser how Madam Lagarde will express it. But we've seen them pricing time for the ECB. The next meeting we jumped already 25 basis points. The market was actually doubting a little bit if that would happen. And now we're actually now pointing to the market thinking maybe this carries on. Maybe this goes to September. And Tom, the market is very happy pricing many 25 basis point rate hikes for the Bank of England. And I suggest that maybe that's the case we can consider for the ECB.
Just quickly, does this make a 4% ECB rate much more likely and actually the base case in your view?
It's not the base case, but look, it makes it possible. And the reason why is because we're seeing all this animal spirits inequities pick back up, boosting risk sentiment, boosting this sort of inflationary pressure that we could see this summer. And as I mentioned earlier, natural gas going up, that should really worry the ECB if it's like last year. August last year, we had energy prices at the highs. It's just June now. If we get 2 more months of gas storage demand pushing up inflation again of natural gas, it upsets the apple cart. The big disinflation, all my charts say euro area inflation is going to really slow down. But that will change. Natural gas continuing the way it is. So if it carries on later, it's potentially possible.
John Rochester, thank you for the effort today with Nomura there, and really interesting nuanced call on euro weaker or euro higher, certainly euro higher is the call. I've never done this, I'm doing it right now. So we do this on the Bloomberg, we do it in real time, folks, which is sort of cool. And I can go to the Euro Stocks 50, which is somewhat like, John wanted me to quote this, this is somewhat like the Dow Jones Industrial Average. John would say it's superior, up 32% off the October low. You know, sort of equivalent to the US debatable bull market. You've got Euro Stocks at 32% selling euros here as well. So it's not a small item to stock enthusiasm.
And how much does that run into a massive headwind with that German 2-year yield now 3.15%, surging on the heels of an incredible bullish ECB? Yeah, you can really see it materially higher. A significant 15 basis point increase, because right now we're looking at the potential for the Fed and the ECB to move more than many people thought was possible.
Calls like that anywhere in the world, except from our economics team in Frankfurt, in Washington as well, on the Fed, and on the ECB. Maria Tadeo will give us further nuance through this morning. Lagarde, in a bit. So we say, what's economic data next? Retail sales and claims. Good morning.
Querendo se sentir protegido e confiante o dia todo. Siga a experiência renovante que inspirante provimento 72 horas. Esse pedaço de madeira representa a pele da sua axila. Veja a preparação hidroderivante transparente. Primeiro movimento entregue uma melhor proteção, formando uma barreira ainda mais forte contra o suor no dedo, enquanto cuida da sua pele tendo 4 de creme hidratante. Novo movimento, uma melhor proteção e confiança para o dia todo.
I'm like, it was climate. I want to move beyond climate. It'll take you on a journey to discover the boldest legal ideas and solutions. If you're a politician, pass laws now. If you are a business, create options.
Você vê, ó, o mercado muito parado, né? Ele não movimenta. A gente tá aí, ó, desde a segunda vela. E aí o que que acontece, ó? A mínima tá no 121.100, né? E a máxima no 121.300. Você tem 200 pontos aqui. Só que é o seguinte, ele abre, caiu, fechou, né? Abriu, fechou. Como é que você compra aqui nesse meio, no gráfico, né? Aí ele olha aqui, não anda, aí cozinhou, cozinhou. Quer dizer, faz 25 minutos que o mercado está lateralizado, está encaixotado, né? O dólar até andou bem na última vela anterior, mas também antes ele deu muita dor de cabeça pro operador. Ó, uma, duas, três velas aqui, ruins. A quarta também, você não vê tendência, o mercado está sem tendência nenhuma. Ruim para operar, nós temos que manter a calma. Pegamos a compra aqui, saímos aqui 500 pontos. Estou tentando ver se ele fecha o gap. Se ele fechar o gap, eu começo a me posicionar, tá? Vamos lá. Qualquer dúvida, vocês vão mandando aí. Tô um pouquinho quieto aqui, porque tô com a ruim da voz. Essa noite eu melhorei no sono, mas da terça para quarta eu já não dormi, né? Tô desde domingo tomando remédio aí. Então, para não perder a voz, que ontem eu perdi a voz, né? De noite eu não conseguia nem falar. Eu vou devagar aqui, tá bom? Vamos lá. Mas estou junto aí com vocês. Aí, ó, já deu uma puxadinha, ó. Aí, agora, ó, pelo menos ele já fecha o gap, né? Aqui no 340, ó. Então, a partir do momento que ele fecha esse gap aqui, já dá para tentar fazer alguma coisa, né? Trabalhando abaixo da média de 20, eu vou querer vender aqui. Aqui é o pior ponto da operação. Para comprar também dá, mas eu não gosto de fazer, né? Hoje não, né? A gente vê que o mercado ontem ó, deu uma pancada ali 2h15, ó, caiu até as 3h10. Então tem um trade sazonal. Às vezes às 2 horas o mercado para de subir, você vende e vai até as 3 horas em 1 hora, ó, ó que pancada, ó. 121.500. 120 bola a bola aqui, ó. Deu 1.600 pontos essa operação. Trade sazonal, fica de olho, né? E agora tá, é legal se ele testar a máxima e voltar também, né? Mas acho que ele vai parar por aqui, ó. A gente teve alguns números que tá saindo aqui. Eu vou fazer uma leitura para vocês e falar o seguinte: a Alemanha tá indo 0,80 agora. Na madrugada, eles estavam virando positivos, né? Alemanha, Reino Unido, França, agora já estão caindo bem, né? França caindo 1%, o Eurostock 0,86, Espanha 0,12, Itália 0,77, né? Os futuros americanos caindo 0,25, 0,50, o S&P 500. O VIX está subindo aí 0,87 nesse momento. No calendário econômico, nós tivemos aí os números que saíram agora às 9h30. Puxou um pouquinho na a gente está vendo acontecer. Como eu já fiz uma operação, estou um pouquinho conservador e bem mais tranquilo, né? Com dinheiro no bolso, sossegado, já posso fechar a operação hoje. Mas assim, ó, o núcleo de vendas do varejo veio em linha, 0,1, 0,1. Os pedidos iniciais por seguro-desemprego eram esperados 250, veio 262 mil, um pouco acima do esperado, ou seja, tem mais gente pedindo seguro-desemprego do que o que estava sendo projetado, né? E aí isso atrapalha um pouco aí o movimento do mercado, né? Porque esse número aí saiu, já não é esperado, né? E aí você tem o índice de atividade industrial também do Fed, lá de Filadélfia, tinha uma projeção de menos 13,5 e veio em menos 13,7, já veio também abaixo também da projeção, né? Então você vê que os números já vieram ruins, né? O núcleo de vendas de varejo veio em linha, não melhorou nada. Dos números não teve nenhuma melhora, tá? Ok? Só as vendas no varejo mensal de maio que vieram boas, que era esperado menos 0,1 e veio 0,3. Então aí esse número aqui é que tá fazendo essa puxada aqui, de fato. Apesar, deixa eu colocar no S&P 500 aqui, só para mim ver como é que tá esperando abaixo, eles deram um número. Vai abrir o gráfico para mim. Tira lá dos números, a primeira vela estava subindo, depois só caiu. Então, assim, abaixo. Eu vou vender o mercado, tá? Primeiro momento. Tentar ter a venda no mercado, conseguir fazer uma operação aí, tá? Então, eu tenho sim aí, ó, uma venda aí no mercado. E essa venda vai ser aqui, tá? Aqui mesmo, stop na máxima aí. Eu vou tentar dar uma batida no mercado agora, tá bom? A venda vai ser no 150, 121, 180, tá? Tem uma venda aí. Paulo Rato. Vamos lá. Bom dia, Rodrigão Sarmento. Beleza? 121, 180 só na venda. Tá ok?
The market where there's all either. And so I think where we are right now in terms of the economy is, if you look at the first quarter, we grew roughly 1% at an annualized rate. I think that's kind of where we are right now in the second quarter as well. Somewhere, plus or minus 0.5 of a percentage point off of 1%.
If nothing really changes, no sort of big shocks to the system and we get data like this, for the next, I guess, 4 weeks. Do you expect the Fed will have to raise by another 25 basis points? That yesterday's meeting was not the end of the rate hiking cycle.
You know, I think that's right, Lisa, and I kind of think of it as yesterday was a little bit of a compromise between the committees want to pause, kind of want to keep on pressing ahead, and I think it was easy for them the consensus, I think it was easy yesterday to coalesce around, okay, we'll keep rates on hold, but we'll send a signal of a hawkish pause, if you will. A month from now, if we don't see any major changes to the economy, then I think it's easier to coalesce around, okay, let's bump them up another 25 basis points. But obviously, we've got a lot of data between now and then, particularly the labor market report, another CPI, sort of report. So, if we come in with the status quo, where we are right now,
Right.
then I think they go 25.
I'm gonna suggest, Dr. Bryson, that none of this is in Chapel Hill economic textbooks. I mean, it's absolutely original, where we are. How much are we beholden to American exceptionalism right now? Europe has so many struggles, is seen with a subpar 1% GDP view forward, and we're different. We're doing better. Does Wells Fargo suggest there is an American difference and American exceptionalism?
Well, Tom, I don't know if I would, if you step back and you look at broad sort of stuff, the United States continues to be a technological leader in the world, right? This is where AI is being developed, et cetera, et cetera. I think that will probably continue. But I also think that, right now where we are in terms of the cycle, Europe has been hit with a number of
Vendido no índice, tá?
great,
Vendido no índice aí. Ok? Vambora.
there's been more shocks hitting Europe.
Primeiro alvo dele é lá na mínima, né? 120,800. Tá bom?
With reasons why, Europe is different.
O dólar tá difícil, porque você vai comprar aqui não tem suporte. E o fechamento do gap aí tá complicado. Bela venda aí, ó. 100 pontos já. Joga o stop no preço, né? E tá chovendo, hein? Uma garoinha leve aqui, o friozinho. 16 graus aqui, hein?
See the economy and the change in the United States. Again, if we look at all the AI breakthroughs that are happening here in the United States, and they're not happening in Europe.
Jim Bryson, thank you so much for the brief. These Wells Fargo have been hugely helpful this year on the economic backs and forth. Sometimes there is this, and this is the well-run machine, Delta Airlines, and they resume an ever so slight dividend after a 3-year agony.
They're having annual general meeting, and we are hearing more and more about normalcy returning, but really interesting at a time when travel has really fueled a lot of these.
Bom dia, Fernanda. Aqui tá chovendo também, desde ontem. Paraná também, chuva 15 graus. Esse tempinho é gostoso pra tomar um chá, né? Chazinhos, faz um chá. Chazinho gostoso, né? É bom tomar aquele quentão, né? Aquele que bebe da festa junina. É, tá bem difícil. Ó, aí daí pra cima eu não posso ficar, tá? Então eu já tô zerado no mercado. Esperando, né? 9h45, tem abertura aí, vamos devagar. Já deu a primeira operação com alguém, então tá legal, tá bom? É difícil comprar, né? Mas o 300 tem uma compra aí, ó. Só que ele tá em cima da média de 20, né? Quando você compra no 350, ele já tá sentado na média de 20, então fica complicado. 450 tem outra resistência dentro da lateralização. Vamos lá, vamos para a abertura aí, ó. Vamos lá, vamos para a abertura. 5 minutos, hein? 5 minutos para abertura. Ó, 3 minutos aí, lateralização, né? Contínua. Você vê que a média de 20 o preço está sentado em cima. Cuidado aí, porque você pode comprar aqui. Tem 300 pontos aí de alvo para cima. A venda tem 250, tá dentro do caixote, né? Vou guardar. Eu vou esperar um pouquinho. Depois que ele fizer alguma coisa ao contrário aí, eu tento, vou virar na ponta aí, tá?
negative since the
E a Cristina Lagarde está falando, hein?
fully assessed the links between monetary policy and financial stability. The financial stability outlook has remained challenging since our last review in December 22. Tighter financing conditions are raising banks' funding costs and the credit risk of outstanding loans. Together with the recent tensions in the US banking system, these factors could give rise to systemic stress and depress economic growth in the short run. Another factor weighing on the resilience of the financial sector is a downturn in the real estate markets, which could be amplified by higher borrowing costs and a rise in unemployment. At the same time, euro area banks have strong capital and liquidity positions, which mitigate these financial stability risks. Macroprudential policy remains the first line of defense against the buildup of financial vulnerabilities. So in conclusion, inflation has been coming down, but it's projected to remain too high for too long. The Governing Council therefore today decided to raise the three key ECB interest rates by 25 basis points in view of our determination to ensure that inflation returns to our 2% medium-term target in a timely manner. Our future decisions will ensure that the key ECB interest rates will be brought to levels sufficiently restrictive to achieve a timely return of inflation to our 2% medium-term target and will be kept at those levels for as long as necessary. We will continue to follow a data-dependent approach to determining the appropriate level and the duration of restrictions. In particular, our interest rate decisions will continue to be based on our assessment of the inflation outlook in light of incoming economic and financial data, the dynamics of underlying inflation, and the strength of monetary policy transmission. In any case, we stand ready to adjust all of our instruments within our mandate to ensure that inflation returns to our medium-term to preserve the functioning of monetary policy transmission. We are now ready to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The first question goes to please.
President, 6 weeks ago, you had a fairly similar guidance, and because you said there's more to cover and the ECB is not pausing. So my first question is that if you have a similar guidance, are you willing to give the same comment today? The second is, from the Fed's pause, and I mean that clearly the ECB has its own. I mean, as in quite a lot has been done, and there needs to be evaluation of the effects of policy tightening. So do you see a reason for the ECB to come and pause? The risk that focusing on projection errors could increase the risk of a policy error on ECB.
Thank you very much for your two questions. I understand. So on your first question, this meeting was of a Eurosystem projection exercise. So we looked at data, we have and we have essentially did what we said we would do. Data and using the three elements of our reaction function determine what was the right decision today. And that is the reason why we increased all three rates by 25 basis points. Are we done? Have we finished the journey? No. We're not at destination. Do we still have ground to cover? Yes, we have ground to cover. And I can even go further than that. I can tell you that bearing a material change to our baseline, it is very likely the case that we will continue to increase rates in July, which probably doesn't come as a big surprise to you. but that's what I'm telling you. And this is so because we are determined to reach our target in a timely manner and to continue to apply the principles that we have applied today. Data dependency, the three elements of the reaction function, and moving meeting by meeting. Obviously, we are better informed at each projection meeting, which happens in June, in September, and later. To your second question, I don't know what difference to make between a pause and a skip, and I have not studied enough the press conference of my friend and colleague. As far as it is concerned, I said what I said. We have hiked interest rates. Unless there was a material change to our baseline, we will continue to hike at our next meeting. So we are not thinking about pausing, as you can tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Madame Lagarde. And the next question goes to Annette Weisbach of CNBC. Annette, please.
Thank you very much. I have two questions. One, I'm here for, it's different this time. I would like to ask you.
Vamos lá, tô assistindo aqui a entrevista da von der Leyen, né? Tá acontecendo aqui ao vivo. O dólar, a gente viu com o Ó, teria os alvos no 7,4, né? Mas aí tem que passar os 55. Se não passar, ele vem para as mínimas. O fechamento do gap é o ponto dele 4,833. Eu tô vendido no índice. A venda é aqui, tá? A venda é aí, ó, nessa linha, tá bom? O stop é aqui, ó, tá? E aí é o operacional que a gente tá. Já mandei na sala de sinais lá para os alunos, né? Antes. Estamos vendidos no índice, então. Já fechou o gap. Fechamento abaixo da 20. Vou torcer para ele. Quero vir aqui nesse ponto aqui, ó. 120,824, tá? Vai me pagar 500 pontos. Se cair mais, é lindo. Já fez a reversão. Tem que aumentar o fluxo aí. Ele não virou fluxo positivo. A vela tem 1 minuto e 37 para fechar. Se fizer um fechamento aí, ele pode andar. Não é o que tem acontecido. O mercado tem abertura. Saiu os papéis do leilão, tem subido bastante há muitos dias. Então, estou tentando pegar essa queda que não vem, né? É uma queda que não vem. Mas, estamos dentro aí, tá bom? Quem comprou já tomou o stop, ficou bravo, né? O cara vai embora da live. E aí o cara pode falar, pô, Nogueira, mas você vai vender mais uma vez? Vou vender, tô vendido já. Esperando aí agora ele perder as mínimas. Se ficar na lateralização, lógico. Aí o problema é dele, não é meu. Você vê que ele não perde o caixote? Ó, da segunda vela até agora, tá dentro desse caixote aí, tá? A hora que a gente achou que ele ia perder a mínima, ó, ele bateu cabeça no suporte, voltou, né? Sorte que a gente tem a média de 20 protegendo a gente. Ele, pra mim, vai bater cabeça aqui de novo, vai voltar, vai testar mais uma vez. É capaz que ele não caia de primeira, às vezes ele dá um totó, fecha aqui, entra de novo na lateralização e depois então ele possa cair. Porque é lógico, né? Dentro da lateralização ele vai dar trabalho aí pro operador, né? É, a Petro tá batendo uma alta, né? A Vale tá batendo a baixa. Os bancos aí estão batendo baixa. Bom, tô vendido, não vou mudar de operacional não. Só vendido aí. Vendido no índice, tá? O dólar não perde a média de 20. Então, turma, vamos lá, ó. No índice aí, a venda aí, onde que eu fiz, já fiquei líquido no mercado. O mercado já me estopou no preço. Eu vou tentar mais vendas, tá? Mas agora eu vou encerrar a live aqui. Vou lá na sala de sinais com os alunos, tá bom? No método 6D aqui na sala de sinais ao vivo lá no Telegram. Um beijo grande no coração para todos vocês que me acompanharam aí. Tô com a voz um pouquinho ruim, hoje a gente falou bem menos. Mas na sexta-feira estamos de volta aí às 9 horas, tá bom? Beijo no coração, fiquem com Deus.